Here I am walking along with my owner. Oh, I see a squirrel. Pressure on. I'm gonna come back. If you don't think that's cutting off your dog's airway, then you probably didn't study physics. Hey everybody, I have something to show you. Now don't run away. Some people hear the word and they run for the aisles. I keep saying, and it's true, they've never even touched or tried. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, are you ready? The dreaded prong collar. I have one right here. Now look, I've put this around my neck many, many times, and I'll do it right now. They are not sharp. They don't cut. Happy to put it on. There we are. We'll put it up high on my neck, snug just like a dog. Here I am walking along with my owner. Oh, I see a squirrel. Pressure on. I'm gonna come back. Release, pressure, release, pressure, release. That's all a prong collar does. Even though it looks like something out of Game of Thrones, it's not. I know you think that it looks like something that would really, really hurt your dog, but it is an extremely well-made, beautifully engineered, gentle power steering for your dog. And I'm going to show it to you just so you can see what it does and does not do on your dog's neck. So hang in there. Most people are worried that if they try one of those horrible looking prong collars with all those spiky things, that it'll dig into their dog's neck, cut them and hurt them, and do exactly the opposite of that to give your dog clear directional guidance. And how does it do that? I'll show you how it does that. We're gonna pretend that this Yogi Bow pillow is a very large dog's neck, because I wanted to show you something that it can go all the way around. First, let's get another type of collar. Let's get the flat buckle collar that many people, most people think of, the kind that's made to hold dog tags. So here is a flat buckle collar. Pretty, they come in all sorts of colors, and we'll put it on Mr. Yogi Bow the dog. We're gonna pretend this is the dog's neck, remember? We attach it with a plain leash. And here's what happens. You go for a walk with your dog and you're at this end of the leash, and here's the dog, and it sees a squirrel. You pull against them, they pull against you. See all that space? All of that pressure is going all on their larynx. Not a great idea. Let's try another type of collar. We'll edit that out.
Are you still on?
I'm shooting a video. Yep.
I heard you out there.
Okay. Now we're going to use what's called a slip lead. A slip lead is the leash and collar combo that show dog people use while the dog prances around the show ring. So let's see what this does to the dog's larynx. Put it on our friend Mr. Yogi Bow pillow dog. The dog and I are going for a walk. No problem. No pressure. All of a sudden, dog sees squirrel. He goes off that way, boom, and I pull back this way. Now look, if you don't think that's cutting off your dog's airway, then you probably didn't study physics. Slip collars can absolutely choke dogs. That is also the way that choke chains work. We don't use those. They're made out of metal. Prong collars and choke chains are not the same thing. Now we're going to take Mr. Yogi Bow pillow and the leash, and we're going to use the prong collar. First thing to understand about a prong collar is that in order to work the right way it's supposed to, it needs to be custom sized for your dog's neck. It's not to be worn like a necklace. It's just going to sit on top of your dog's neck. So in order to do that, you adjust it by taking out or adding in any number of these little links that together form the prong collar. We're going to take the prong collar. We're going to put it around Mr. Yogi Bow pillow. And as you can see, the prong collar sits up on top of the dog's neck. It's snug, but it's not putting on pressure when the dog is walking with you. Now, you put the leash on the swivel loop and you go for a walk with your dog. And right now, all it's doing is just sitting there. This might even be a little bit loose, but when your dog goes to lunge and pull at the squirrel that it sees, you, with the leash, just give a little bit of pop and release action. Because unlike the flat buckle collar, which the dog can pull and pull and pull and pull against, or the choke chain or slip lead collar, which can literally constrict your dog's neck like that, the prong collar is limited. It's limited by this chain. No matter how hard I pull, I can't make it go any tighter than these two bits coming together. Now that is just pressure and release, pressure and release, pressure and release. And it goes all the way around the dog's neck. It doesn't just focus on the larynx. It's really very gentle. It is one of the most effective directional tools you can possibly use with your dog. And I haven't found a single dog yet that hasn't walked like a superstar in just a couple of minutes after being properly fitted. It's a wonderful, wonderful tool. For everybody who's thinking, I don't put a collar around my dog's neck, we use a harness. But the truth of the matter is, harnesses were invented for animals to pull things. Think about sled dogs. That's how they move the sled. Or cart dogs in other countries. That's how they pull a cart. A harness was made to harness the power of the dog and their pulling to have the dog move something along. So if you think that the best way to walk your dog is to have them out front of you pulling you down the street, then this video is not for you. If you judge this just because of its looks, you are really missing out on an opportunity to have incredible walks and incredible clear and gentle communication with your dog. Do I use them? Every single one of my dogs, every dog in my family, and everyone that I work with. And the dogs understand it like that, and they walk so well. A prong collar is the right collar for virtually every dog. And you know my dogs, they're little dogs. One's 10 pounds, one's 11 pounds, and one is 16 pounds. And they all walk like rock stars. They hear the jingle of the prong collar, and they know we are going out for a wonderful walk, and they come running to me.